Okay, so I'm just going into it because I'm kind of in ranty mode, anyways. Um, but I was talking to yet another intuitive who can't figure out how to not think themselves out of getting laid. So, as sort of a tangent or side note or follow up or whatever, as something along in the same vein as the Too Smart to Get Laid video that got so many likes so quickly. I'm gonna start a fucking franchise for you nerds. Okay, I'm an ENTP. I have extroverted intuition. I have TI. I have all the intuitive things that you all are using to not get laid. I overcame that early in life by just doing it. I'm yellow demigod of never wrong, and before that, that evolved out of a saying that was in my life around before all this YouTube stuff, which is Taylor's never wrong, which means I know shit. I'm credentialed because I know shit, and I'm right about things, and I'm not gonna start being wrong right now. I'm fine being wrong most other times, but not today. So just a tiny subsection of the whole intuitive problem, and sensors do it too. But sensors are way better than all you self-important intuitives at just leaving the past behind and moving forward. Just one little tiny takeaway that you can fit to every part of your life that is bullshit, but especially if you are not in your ideal relationship, if you're not getting laid enough, whatever. And I don't know about all the rest of you, but if you're an ENTP and if you're a healthy adult ENTP and you're not having sex once a day, you're not getting laid enough. And if you don't get laid enough, you get all irritated and shit. You start making it. So, and it's a really simple thing, is stop selling yourself bullshit. I hear more intuitives with more elaborate explanations or excuses for being pussies than I know what to do with. Ultimately, everybody's saying the same thing. I'm inexperienced and I'm scared of trying because I'm scared of being vulnerable. But the excuses that people come up with are mind-bogglingly complex, long-lasting, thorough, and people believe them deeply and don't ever get over them until I come along and say, hey, stop buying your own bullshit. It is never better to have a worse understanding of things. And I had to put in a disclaimer because of the irony of my situation, which is unless you are an accessory to a crime, a co-defendant, a reluctant witness, unless there's a legal reason, or unless you have a working, sincere, false view of the world. And if you're watching this, or if any of the following shit relates to you currently, you don't. And if you did before you clicked on this link, sorry, I just screwed it up for you. So you might as well keep watching. If it's not sincere, if you don't actually believe your own bullshit, it's not working. And it's not working if you don't entirely believe it. So unless you actually believe that you're in the Matrix and the Matrix is real, and you believe that entirely, you're probably not better off taking the red pill and realizing that you're a people farm or whatever the hell happened in that movie. But, you know, sorry, we're here. So let's keep going. If you've ever said any of these things, then you can relate to what I'm saying. And again, this is not just intuitives, but it's especially intuitives. Sensors do it too all the time. They're just way better about recovering and moving forward. And if you're still saying any of these, if you've currently said any of these, if you said any of these the last time that you didn't get the next date, or you didn't get laid, or you didn't end up with your dream girl, or what the fuck ever, then you're my target market, and it's probably an ego blow. But hey, I'm helping you to not be a 40-year-old virgin, or a 50-year-old virgin, or a goddamn, like, I just can't understand how people can hold on to this shit so long. So it wouldn't work because I don't care or want to anyways, Because anytime anyone says I don't care, if anyone's bothering to tell you they don't care, they're lying. They're below me because anytime there's a because at the end of the reason that you're telling yourself that it didn't work out with this person, when you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like I'm full of shit, that's your signal. Those two signals mean that you need to stop selling yourself your own bullshit. Broadly, those are, if you can see the future, if you are good enough at reading the future or other people's minds to know why something would not have worked, and you're telling yourself that anyways to kind of cover up your little hurt feels, well, it wouldn't have worked anyways because of this. You're full of shit. You can't see the future. Nostradamus. So don't be Nostradamus and don't see the future. If you have agenda-driven interpretations, if you see someone else's behavior and you say, well, she did this and it was selfish. He did that and it was understanding. If your interpretation of someone else's actions fits the story that you're trying to tell, and you know when you're force fitting it because you got to force fit it, don't force fit your agenda onto interpretations of other people. You're probably wrong. And you're either doing them a disservice or yourself a disservice, probably both of you a disservice. You're never better off not understanding the situation you're in. You have to realize that you are better off understanding the issues in front of you. And yes, it might be kind of awkward admitting to yourself that you suck at girls, but you have to realize that you suck at girls or else you're going to keep sucking. But never knowing the joy of swallows. Okay, so if you have unreal expectations, this is a big one with FI users. All you FI users who think that FE is fake or phony or manipulative, or hide behind your ethical opposition to FE or whatever, and say, you know what, it's against my ethics to womanize. First of all, if you're a guy saying that as a justification for not having sex, you're full of shit, dude. Second of all, it's belittling to women. It does not treat them as equals. It diminishes them. That's unethical. To treat someone as below you is unethical. If you then justify it by saying things like, I'm just arrogant, I'm just a dick, I'm just an alpha male, those self-insults that aren't actually insults because they also apply to a lot of people who are actually kind of cool. I mean, it's one and the same. But FI users are especially bad at not meeting people in the middle. If you want to meet somebody of your equal, you have to be willing to meet them in the middle. And the middle is society's terms. It's not inside of your FI. And ethics and generosity and helping other people, it's not inside of your FI. FI is more genuine than FE, sure. It's also more selfish. It is selfish as hell to say that I really enjoyed being kicked in the face, so I'm going to kick people in the face. So if you have unreal expectations of other people, if you're sitting on your ass and expecting them to read your thoughts, and if you're saying, well, I don't want to use FE because it's manipulative or it's against my ethics to womanize or whatever, if you're giving yourself virtue for only using FI and you're expecting shitloads of FE and mind reading out of the other person, go fuck yourself, because that's what you're going to be doing forever. The other two kind of go hand in hand, self-inflation or false flag degradation. If you go, well, I'm above her, or he's a douche anyways. That's one that I actually heard a lot before I realized what was happening, is girls say, you're just an asshole, like out of nowhere. So if you inflate yourself, self-inflation or false flag degradation, so if you say, oh, I'm not good enough for her, but it's kind of mocking. The other side of that is dehumanization of the other person. If you say, she's just a fucking tramp, or he's just a douche, or false flag. I don't even know what that word is that I wrote. Anyways, or the other side of that be false flag. Idealization. Like, oh, she's too good for me. If you do any of that mocking shit, anything that puts you up or the other person down as a binky for your hurt feels, you're eating your own shit. You're selling yourself shit. And if there's one thing that doesn't make any sense to TE or TI, so no matter what your T function that you use is, or the F functions, however you're making your decisions, wow, I just lost my train of thought. I'm kind of in a rant. Suze, where was I going with this? I had a nice I don't know.
Something about not treating the other person as an equal or something? That was where you stopped making sense after that somewhere.
Okay, yeah, and that's exactly what did I say after that? Okay. Oh, okay. So if you are buying your own bullshit, you're dumb because it makes no TI or FI sense. It doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't, I'm sorry, TI or TE. It makes no deductive logical sense, and it makes no objective oriented sense to buy bullshit from yourself that is self-destructive. It doesn't achieve your agenda unless your agenda is to live alone forever, in which case, why are you watching YouTube videos of people? Why do you even have a phone? If you realize that you don't want to be alone forever, and you're just trapped here in this world of electronics trying to escape out into the wilderness, like that one movie with Eddie Vedder's song, then you realize that by lying to myself, I'm not doing anything to help myself. By muddying the waters of my own understanding, I'm self-sabotaging. So whether you're a TE user or a TI user, you should be smart enough to figure out that you shouldn't buy your own bullshit. I'm going to end it right there because otherwise I'll keep screaming at the thing because the NTPs, you need to get laid once a day. Oh, yeah, Suze,